presented by Principal. 8 teams came to Evansville, Indiana with the chance to dance. Now just 2 remain in the Ohio Valley Conference Tournament. It is number 2 seed Murray State and top seeded Belmont in the OVC championship game. Well, how did they get there? Both teams had a double bye, which means they start in the semifinals. Belmont over Eastern Kentucky last night. 15 points from Adam Kunkel to lead the way, and Tevin Brown in Murray State easily dealt with Austin Peay to get to the final, and that is for the 3rd straight season, Belmont and Murray State. We are so excited for it and glad to have you with us. For a chance to dance in the NCAA tournament. Tip is won by Belmont. They are technically the home team with the 1 seed in the white uniforms. Murray State in the road blue. Adam Kunkel's layup sent away. He is the leading scorer for Belmont this season. Javion Eves in and out on the first attempt for the Racers. Murphy rolls to the hole. Musinski with the finish. Nick Musinski, who is such an important part of this team, all OVC first team the last 2 years. He was not able to play in the championship last year because he turned his ankle in the semis. You better bet Casey Alexander is excited to have him out there tonight.
And great start for him. He didn't score his first basket until the second half, so an early bucket for him to go in should help his confidence.
Musinski, who leads the OVC in blocks, just got another one. Already his 51st. Tevin Brown short on the NBA range 3. He can do that, and he loves to pop. 42% from beyond the arc this season.
You have to like the start for Belmont. 2 downhill drives, the offensive rebound opportunity for Musinski, and another drive there.
Murphy on the follow after the Kunkel miss. Murphy, by the way, is the OVC Defensive Player of the Year. He's also the leading rebounding guard in the country, 7.5 boards a game.
Still waiting on that first triple-double from this young man because he does so much, and a big thing he does on the defensive end creates a whole lot of havoc for the opponent.
Is that triple-double coming tonight? Devon Robinson after the hesitation.
His hands full in terms of dealing with these Racers front court players.
Belmont started in the league 5-3, and everyone was wondering, is this going to be the year that they don't make it a potential conference win in the regular season? And they ended up. Williams from beyond. KJ Williams.
Ball game, contrast of styles, motion offense, keep that ball moving from Belmont. They lead the nation in assists per game, and the power game from the Racers in terms of playing inside out with their front court.
There's Michael Benkert for 3. Not enough. The first grad transfer in Belmont history, coming over from Boston University. Carter to the rack, and Chico Carter, another great freshman in this game, off the mark. There's another one in Ben Shepherd, who gets hacked hard, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Gives them a really good spark, can make an open shot as the defense. We'll see if the Bruins can get
right there from the stripe, and the lead is 4 for the Bruins. The top seed in this tournament. This is the 3rd time these 2 teams have matched up, that is, in the last 3 years. The previous 2, though, have gone to the Racers.
There's Shepherd again with a deflection in the backcourt, and almost came up with a steal. Nice drive there, though, by Chico Carter.
So quick, a freshman that missed 6 weeks with tonsillitis, a fracture in his hand, plus a concussion, and then how about an illness? He's missed 10 games total. Not quite the way you want to get into your freshmen. Here's some of that depth for Belmont in Nick Hopkins.
And only 1 starter on the floor for Belmont. They can go deep, as will the Racers.
And that's Kunkel. Couple in a row now. The Racers have tremendous post depth. Seeing KJ Williams battle with Nick Musinski, both of them members of the All-OVC first team, toward the top of your screen. And Carter floats it through. He's been a big impact. Musinski on the smaller Gilmore, though he has a ton of athleticism, but Musinski with the footwork.
Smith, this is 100 years ago, Alex, but A young man who's got long arms, can't move him, and can finish left or right. Musinski is very talented.
You think anybody on the floor right now knows who Rick Smits is?
Probably not.
but they
he
should.
was good. He was good.
He certainly was. Eves hoists and hits. Within 3. And steps from Murphy. Their home meeting this year, and of course, it's a rematch for the 3rd straight season here in the OVC championship game. Racer ball out of the break, and now a 1-point game as Tevin Brown final win over Austin Peay.
I know we've talked a lot about Belmont's offense. Nice look there for Scanlon.
Oh, they needed that, didn't they?
Well, and he's certainly...
Matt McMahon.
Trying to free up Kunkel. Late shot clock situation.
He has started extremely well, and that is great news.
And Murphy there, Defensive Player of the Year with the strip. He's going to do a lot of that. You have to know where number 2 in white is at all times.
Musinski, soft touch after the finish.
He's able to do with an A-10 program being number 1 seeded going into the NCAA tournament.
Right now an 8-point lead for Belmont in the OVC championship game. This is the 3rd straight year these two teams have matched up in this contest. Both have gone to the Racers. Great look to Gilmore with the finish.
Charge and gets another stop for the Bruins.
Two leading scorers right there, Kunkel versus Brown. Now inside Musinski. Turns, rejected the first time, and when you don't succeed at first. The OVC Defensive Player of the Year on the bench, and there's DeQuan Smith immediate.
Let's watch this closely, Alex, because not only Murphy on the bench, but Scanlon as well. He's drawn 2 charges. He is
a free throw line. 5 Pacific. ESPN Champ Week is presented by Princeton. Here's Kunkel. That foul, by the way, was the 2nd for Williams. Short on the triple into the hands of Gilmore.
Alex, Murray State would help themselves out a bit when they get stops to fly it down in transition. Because right now they're bully ball, and I mean that affectionately. Their ability to pound the ball in really hasn't worked out for them. Nice drive there from Carter. But I would love to see some transition offense from the Racers to pick up this pace.
Musinski, arm in the back from Robinson. Back to Kunkel. Knew he missed his shot, went up for the rebound, and tapped out of bounds. That good work keeps it with Belmont. Early on for the freshman out of Columbia, South Carolina, Chico Carter, who didn't play against Belmont in game number 2, which was the only game that Murray State lost to the Bruins. Robinson extending his range, gets his own miss, puts it off the window and in.
Musinski did a good job there to bait Robinson into a jump shot, but then leaked out.
Musinski steps through and finishes. Beautiful answer there.
From the Racers has to be coming on Musinski. Can't allow him to play one-on-one for the rest of this half or even the second half, the rest of this game.
Smith unloads for 3.
Momentum, not a bad look. But now they need a stop. Try to keep this momentum going their way.
It's kind of comical that this is considered a neutral site game. With the way... Chico Carter thought about it, but Kunkel got him. Right back to Carter it goes with 14 on the shot clock.
More of a driver. Got to be careful him going downhill.
Well, there's the by Robinson, and inside to Gilmore with the finish. Athleticism. Tie ball game at the Ford Center. Kunkel's missed his last 3.
Defender was a lot closer to him on that pull-up.
Tevin Brown, finish, and the foul.
Brown, all the credit in the world. He's allowed the game to come to him. He raises up, gives you a little hezzy. The bump and the finish, impressive. Only a sophomore.
5 sophomores that are first team all OVC. In this game alone, the future of this conference is so bright.
I think John Morant would be pretty proud of his backcourt mate.
I would say so. Muszynski, quiet. Gilmore wants some help. Now it's into the hands of Brown, the leading scorer on the team, 18 points per game. Robinson. This is Muszynski picking up the foul, and this in and out on the. And how about the Clippers? They've won 6 straight. That should be a good one. You don't want to miss it. BNN.
How about the matchup between LeBron and Giannis?
Not bad, right?
Something like this. 2 heavyweights going at it.
Kunkel from the corner.
5 points on Boston College, 3rd game of the year. He was a single-digit scorer last season. He has exploded in his sophomore year.
Went from 2 points to 17, the 2nd largest jump in the country behind Hampton's Ben Stanley. Smith through contact. Gilmore skies for the offensive board, and we got a tie-up. It's going to keep it on this side.
Out. Oftentimes they'll throw it in and try to run a double screen to get him a shot.
Carter, little too hot, and through Gilmore's hands. So it goes to the Bruins with the shot clock turn.
To get downhill and spray it out to Hollander for a corner 3.
You got a ton of 3-point shooters here too with Tate Pearson and Mitch Listow. Here's Hollander with 5. There's Listow for 3. At the buzzer, Robinson, got it! Does it count? They're counting it as it stands. The call on the floor is a 3
in the paint, and then the half-court shot from the big fella.
No way.
No basket. That's the end of the first half of play.
Yeah, definitely in his hands.
Look, it was a great effort, though.
Great concentration, and it goes back to their shoot-arounds, right, Alex? We see the folks, they actually practice half-court.
Tyler Scanton with the first opportunity, missed. Put back no from Nick Muszynski, who had 14 first-half points. And we are back underway here in the Ford Center.
Muszynski has given the Bruins a ton of confidence on the offensive end on his post-ups.
Tevin Brown, deep look inside to Robinson.
Some 3-point shooting for the Bruins. Right now they've kept them at bay so far from the 3-point line.
Belmont 3 of 10 on the game from deep, 3 of 9 right now for the Racers. Wide open look for Smith. Edge looking for their 3rd straight OVC Conference Tournament title. And in this year, it is the most likely only bid that is being handed out by this conference. Tevin Brown!
If that screen, again, you got to go over the top on shooters, force them to drive. Benkert's got to learn from that play.
Muszynski gets the Benkert miss. Trying to cut into a 7-0 Racers run. And Murphy is going to the free throw line to do just that. Surprisingly for a guy. 1 of 2 there for the Bruins. This championship the last 2 years, outscoring Belmont 39-19 in 2018 and 51-34 in 2019, led by 36 points from John Morant. Eves pushed in midair, and he is going to go to the free throw line.
At the end, I like that whistle.
John Morant. Little NC tournament action, got a little ahead of myself, but how about some new kicks there to the Racers, courtesy of John?
I'm size 12, man. What gives? So much to him. He's rooting as hard as anyone for the Racers to get it done. But Belmont down at the other end, stop the bleeding. Now we got a 5-point game.
DeQuan Smith way out of control. Murphy, a one-man press break himself. Counted and 1.
Balance on this shot. A whole lot of Racers at the paint, and so Murphy can just streak out and get it done at the rim. Draws the foul. Hopefully he can make his free throw and reward himself, but it was the balance where the Racers, normally they're all running in there for offensive rebounds, so Belmont could streak out there and Murphy could make a very good athletic.
And Murphy does easily his toughest recruiting miss ever. And how about this? How about the way things work out? Now he's coaching him at Belmont, his alma mater. And Williams asserting himself down low.
That we've seen from Murray State. They need a whole lot more of that if they're going to try to pull away from the Bruins.
Yeah, and not usually their game, but Belmont is not giving them what they usually do in transition. Scanlon bombs away.
That's there for Murphy.
Belmont could take their first lead since halftime. Back to Scanlon for three. Oh my goodness.
And they're playing the grad transfer. Looks like he's been here for years, Alex. Clean shot, knocked down, and he'll go to
36% on the year as a team. Maybe another one coming with the lead. Instead, it's Scanlon on the cut and the reverse. That's a 5-point swing right.
Defensive rebounds like last night. Murray State could not allow that to happen.
Brown off of the back cut, and he'll go to the free.
Effort. Something's got to give because Murray State.
In and out on that one.
Why was that so wide open? The Racers committed themselves to helping out Musinski, almost daring Benkert to shoot from the perimeter.
Carter's love that baseline drive, and he's really got
to make the adjustment.
Racers within one. Musinski finds it under the cup, and he will go to the charity stripe.
Now try to get it up towards the basket.
For Dayton.
Yeah, you think he would have made a difference in good execution in terms of dealing with the double team, pass it to the top and swing it to the weak side. Eves just couldn't execute it.
Musinski, two-fisted flush.
Musinski again, big size, long arms, but great hands, Alex. Able to catch balls and get them to the basket. Tough thing for Biggs, but he's mastered it.
This is his 27th game in double figures this year.
Looks like a little bit of zone here from Belmont, trying to disrupt Murray State.
Just 6 to shoot as Eve splits the double team to Robinson for 2.
Dating their play. I mean, this is what it's all about.
What a move by Smith.
You're getting the best. Found a way to get it off the glass. Murray State's making the run.
The only senior for the Racers leading the way. Scanlon drew Smith in the air. A crazy floater goes. Boston University is a grad transfer. He is making the most of it. Robinson hangs. No, second try. And a whistle.
Easy call there as Robinson was a little bit, just a special person. And boy, did he know how to coach off
Robinson, which we'll show you in just a moment. Musinski making both.
So Robinson does not know how to take a play off, and I mean that affectionately. He gets after that, but you see that left elbow coming across the face of the defender. Don't lean.
The lead is 5 now for Belmont. And Murphy curls to the cup. Murphy
try to save him for the stretch.
But we also saw at the end of the first half how that disrupts Belmont's offense. Here's Smith. Double team comes from Musinski and Scanlon, and now Robinson with the finish, and he'll go to the line.
Okay, young fella.
This is
he is thrilled that he is a racer. The double team on the post up from Smith, and then Robinson going to clean up the loose ball and flushing it.
His first OVC championship get. The senior curls through, but he missed. Murphy again. He's taken over from the point guard spot.
Normally leads by setting up his teammates, but he's recognizing if you're going to stay attached to Kunkel and Scanlon, there's going to be some driving lanes and opportunities for him to score at the rim.
Murphy gets close to triple doubles very often. He's at 10 to there from Daquan Smith.
Way to share the game.
Wide open Kunkel. Benkert finishes on the follow.
Ball high up to isolate for a ball screen. Belmont goes to a 2-3 zone.
Eves got some space. Musinski avoided the foul. They're going to get somebody, though. Is that on Moose? Oh, yeah.
A whistle on it, and so The officials doing just have him go vertical, go straight up.
And Eves makes him pay. It's been an issue that Matt McMahon has talked to us about all season. Turnovers for Murray State. They're taking care of the ball well, though. Brown gets the miss. KJ Williams. Got it! Racers.
He has that in his bag, Alex. He can score down low an offensive rebound, but he's a deadly shooter when he's wide open from three. Again, the most skilled front court player for the Racers. Belmont out of sorts here against this 2-3 zone.
7 to shoot. Murphy on the baseline. Wild shot, and Bankert is there to Bruins. Lead back to 3. Counted for Tevin Brown. Murphy has been great. 10 points, 5 boards, and 5 assists for the sophomore point guard. Back in his hands with 5 to shoot.
Have to be wary of Bankert running in there for offensive rebounds.
Well short, now Brown's got it.
Good
Up
pass
ahead, Anthony Smith!
Finish, great pass ahead by Tevin Brown. Wonderful playmaker for the Racers. Smith does the rest. Kunkel's got to be careful with that off arm.
Corner for Hollander. Not this time. So that's going to stay with Murray State.
Back mode, but he keeps his head up. I told you, this is the Kentucky of the Ohio Valley. They travel. I mean, this feels like a...
And we shall see who's going to the dance. Belmont, Murray State, most likely one bid awarded from this league. It's the winner of this game. The redshirt freshman Smith backs it out. Now 7 to shoot for Brown. He loves this ISO game, though. Just sits off of the rim into the hands of Adelsberger.
High ball screen, isolation for Tevin Brown. He didn't call for the ball screen, just decided to put his head down, and that didn't allow Belmont to go to a 2-3 zone.
Kintyre take the lead. Leading scorer, Kunkel. What a move, and it falls off of the rim and in.
And so let's get it done from the perimeter, and 5 answers the call.
A whistle away from the ball. Center, and Murray State has gotten the last 2. So something you would say has to give in Evansville tonight. Eves, give him 3.
I'll be stunned if Muzinski does not come in at the next dead ball or media timeout. Got to get him back in. Can't allow this game to get to 2-3 possessions.
Brown contorted his body but missed. And Bankert shovels down after the rebound.
Great play by Brown to avoid committing a charge and somehow getting that off the glass. But Belmont fortunate to come up with a defensive rebound.
Murphy didn't even use the double screen, and Robinson pins the layup right on the window.
Murphy from behind.
Oh, he got it. Pick the pocket of Eves. That is the leading steals man in the OVC as Robinson swats it away with a great defensive play on his own. And that one off of Kunkel. What a beautiful... 2-point edge for the Racers and the ball. 4:15 to go in the OVC championship. Smith got position and give him 2.
Remember that thing I mentioned about not asserting their dominance inside? I think the tide has turned.
Kunkel got some contact on the base. Good on the front end of the 1-and-1 second half.
And that has opened the door. Drives in the first half, but certainly back to the basket. Paint touches for the Racers has ruled the day in the second half.
Eves again from the corner. Off the mark this time into the hands of Scanlon. Been quiet in the second. Beautifully scooped it in.
Outstanding pace to Scanlon. Just knows what he's doing with the basketball in his hands. High-low look there from Smith.
And through the foul. Well, this is not.
Keep this thing respectable because momentum. Certainly the Racers helped themselves going to that 2-3 zone. But now we got a ball game, 3 minutes to go.
Murphy cuts, but he stepped.
More than this, buddy.
Just about as good as it gets. We are going to punch a ticket to the NCAA tournament here tonight. Tevin Brown finishes through contact. Are you kidding me with this game?
His teammates saying on his head, you have to deny him, but then when he cuts back door, he's got to cut through your chest. You can't be too much on the high side, and he elevates. Good move there by Alexander and saved his big guy.
Brown now with 10 of his 15 points in the second half, and the lead is 4. The grad transfer Scanlon.
Right back to him.
And this time Kunkel walked with it. How about
Belmont turns the ball over in the OVC the fewest amount of any team in the league. And not sure. I love that call. To dig deep, Alex. Next play mentality, they need a stop.
Casey Alexander told us this team prides itself on defense. We'll see. Williams, no. Smith got it back, but he stepped on the baseline.
And that's what the Bruins needed.
I'll tell you, these Murray State and Belmont fans must have their hearts in their throat at this moment. Only one bid will be awarded. Muzinski gets it back and scores it.
Post play is still alive in this game, isn't it, Alex?
Oh, that is for sure. Now a 2-point lead. That's it for Murray State.
Sophomore and freshman playing their tails off.
Brown fumbled, got it back. Off balance, no. Robinson, second try. Scanlon's got it now for Belmont. Can tie or take the lead with 1:40 left. Muzinski wants it, got it on the lob, finishes, and a foul right over the top of the freshman Robinson.
He's going at it. Muzinski held his ground and kept Robinson on the side of him. Wonderful entry there from Murphy, leading it away from the defense. We talked about how big.
And there it is.
Protect his big guy. He knows how important he is on the offensive end. You can't afford to have him foul out and not be able to finish out this game.
This is the time last year where you give it to Ja Morant. Is it Tevin Brown? Instead, it's Smith. He lost it. Belmont basketball up 1, and we have 60 ticks remaining. Casey Alexander wants to talk.
A lifetime, trust me, as a player, assistant coach, head coach, you never forget these moments that have allowed you to get to the NCAA tournament. We'll see who comes out on the great side of things.
Muzinski calling for it. He scored the last 5, but he can't take the pass in. 40 seconds to go as Tevin Brown brings it across the timeline, down 1. Smith wide open. Too much. Benkert's got the rebound.
Perfect execution out of the timeout. That's exactly what Coach McMahon wanted, and now he's trying to tell his guys to foul.
Yeah, there's barely a 1-second game clock to shot clock difference, and they had to foul Kunkel. Sophomore. In and out, and Murray State.
Because they're down by 1.
Brown, Benkert right in his face, and he fouled him. The best defender on the floor for Belmont commits it, and Tevin Brown now has a chance to go to the free.
His right hand, but he does have a crafty behind the back crossover to his left. Benkert doesn't love it.
All right, there's the tie. Maybe we're seeing that here for the Racers.
Made free throw here. Belmont will call a timeout to talk it over.
And he made both. And there's the timeout with 9.5 seconds left. So still plenty at Belmont. And another timeout.
Timeout, Belmont.
That is the final one for the Bruins. Goal, taking the inbound.
And Muzinski just planted on the block. They could just throw it straight into him if they wanted. They may run Scanlon here to the corner.
So 9.5 seconds left as we wait to get back underway. This is now a lengthy delay with a couple of timeouts.
And so what they're talking about, there was no time off the clock, and so you can't make a substitution. They tried to sneak Benkert in. This actually, in my humble opinion, helps them. Pearson's a dead-eye shooter, and if you help off of him too much, he may be the one that could hurt you from the perimeter.
Pearson over 40% from three. No timeouts remaining for Belmont, 9.5 seconds to go. Murphy, back to Kunkel. 5 to go. Scanlon on the reverse with 3.8.
Gotta go.
Tevin Brown. We got a timeout first with now 2 seconds on the clock, but Tyler Scanlon lead with 2 seconds to go.
I believe they call this play Liberty. They were working on this in shoot-around. Both ends of the court, they broke up first team, second team, called out Liberty and ran this play 2 or 3 times. So you talk about coaching and the impact that it can have in big moments. Casey Alexander gets exactly the look. They're here in the backcourt. See what the Racers got.
2 seconds to go. Javion Eves can't get the shot off. Belmont wins its first OVC tournament championship since 2015. And the Bruins are dancing once again.
Muzinski wound up being a decoy and Kunkel going downhill. Liberty, I don't know if I'm mistaken, but I think that was the play call. And Tyler Scanlon was free for the reverse layup, and then good sound defense, no fouls. Murray State, not a lot of clock to work with, and Belmont brings it home. What a wonderful game. Outstanding showcase for the OVC.
That lived up to it, and now for the first time in the last 3 years,